but the very best press I got was the Washington City paper, which is the free newspaper you get when you go to the metro. You know, they hand out these newspapers.
They used to, yes.
I didn't take the metro in forever, but yeah. And in their weekly music review or whatever they did, they had, just like they had all the other albums, they had National Fever by Scott Gold, 0 stars. They gave me 0 stars, which is amazing.
Hey, I'm Brian.
And I'm Scott.
Welcome to the Two Old Fashions podcast, where two friends get together over a cocktail and have some conversations. How are we doing today, Scott?
Doing pretty good. I think it's the first time we've recorded where it is monsooning outside.
Yes.
I'm like a little worried we're going to lose power.
Ooh, that would be dramatic.
That would be a dramatic podcast.
I had snuck away to the pool and then got kicked out when thunder came and then picked the kids up from the bus, and it is raining hard.
It is raining really, really hard, but we need it. My dress is happy.
Yes, mine is as well. And I will say, since we are recording a little earlier than we normally do, I went all out with my old fashioned. I usually ask you what you're drinking first, but I'm just so excited about this, I'm going to go first.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
So today, this afternoon, I guess, I am drinking a cold fashioned. So I stole this from Clyde's Willow Creek down the street from us. So It is a little bit of cold brew, some coffee liqueur. I did some chocolate bitters and a little bit of simple syrup. And then I went with a 2XO vinyl edition bourbon. So what 2XO is twice barreled. So I tend to like twice barreled in this kind of drink because it gives a little chocolate flavors. So that's what I figured. Since we're recording early and I'm going to try to stay up late for one of these sporting events, I figured why not?
I think that's a great idea. That's awesome. And I'm glad you're planning on staying up late, because I think I did one of those, a similar one, like a month or so ago. And I believe I couldn't sleep that night.
Yikes.
But I do like a good coffee old fashioned. So that sounds good.
What did you go with?
I went with, it's pretty standard. I went with Woodford Reserve. I did just regular maple syrup today because I hadn't done that in a while. And then just some aromatic bitters. But, you know, it is a double, of course. I got, I think this is clear ice, although it's not looking that clear. So maybe it's not clear ice. I don't really know what's going on with my ice situation. We figured out that depending on what freezer I'm pulling the ice from, different levels of freezer burnt and clarity and all kinds of things. So yeah, I got an ice problem.
Yeah, big problems. First world problems for sure.
You know, last week we did a lot of throwbacks to earlier episodes, and I'm going to throw it back to our original episodes. We need a sponsor. We need a sponsor because my old fashions are getting very boring, right? I'm running out of spins that I can do on my old fashions because my my bar is not as vast as your bar is. And I just want to say, for all those companies that are thinking about sponsoring us, we just had our biggest week ever. And I think I said that like 2 weeks ago. Well, guess what? We've far surpassed that. Our listenership, it's going gangbusters right now. So you guys need to get in on the ground floor. I need some syrups. I need some mixers. I need everything.
I mean, that would be great. If anybody wants to throw us a couple bones, we are thinking about upgrading our platform. That costs a couple bucks a month. So yeah, we will take charity. We will take sponsors. You know, we are talking about the Washington Nationals a lot this episode. If they'd like to do something for us,
that's right.
Fantastic. But
I don't know who's listening to us, but again, a lot of people are listening to us. So thank you.
Yes.
To all of our listeners, all of our new listeners. That's awesome. Again, don't forget to smash that like button.
Like and subscribe.
Smash that subscribe button. Just smash your entire phone, computer, wherever you're listening. Just smash it.
Yep. Comment. Say nice things. Ideally, but honestly, say anything. We don't care.
That's right. That's right.
Circling back as well, how's your reading going, Scott? 3 pages a night? You should be up to 21 pages by now.
So I told you I was reading that book called The Last Kingdom, which, in case you forgot, was about 800 AD in England. I made it to, I think, page 80. And I am being dead serious when I tell you I could not tell you a single thing that happened in those 80 pages. It was 2 chapters, right? Each chapter was like 40 pages, no paragraphs. It's just a straight run on. Like, I have no idea what's going on. So I finally, 2 days ago, gave up, pulled the plug on that book. I started the next Tom Clancy book on my list. So even though I finished the set that I wanted to read, I just picked up the next one. So I'm moving into the next set. And I'm like 21 pages into that. And I
Okay.
could tell you so much more about that book than I could The Last Kingdom, which I read for like a month.
All right. I'm glad to hear it. I myself wrapped up one book. Then I started another fiction book. So that's going to be my nighttime reading. And then since I have a little time to myself, I did pick up the one I talked about the other day, How to Rule the
Hmm.
World by Theo Baker about Silicon Valley. So this is going to be my outside pool reading. I
Okay.
think I'm not the best multitasker sometimes, but I think having one fiction, one nonfiction, one Kindle, one hard
Yeah.
copy, I think I can make this work.
Yeah,
So
you can separate that.
How to
Definitely.
Rule the World will be my official Too Old Fashioned podcast reading challenge book to finish this by the
Okay.
end of the summer. And so
Okay.
yours is Tom Clancy. If anybody else out there is reading something they like, drop it in the comments. Join our club.
Now, I know I said that I was going to finish a book this summer.
I
That
think
Tom
you
Clancy
swore.
book
I
is like,
think you committed. You said that this was going to happen.
it's like 800 pages. So I'm
Well,
going to try my hardest. We'll see what happens. I
we
am going to
all
be on an airplane a few times coming up soon. So that is usually when I do a lot of reading. So
okay.
maybe I'll make a good dent in it over the next couple of weeks.
We all make choices, Scott. You made yours.
It's true. I did. I did. I'll be cramming on like August 14th.
Oh no, I okay. So that's a great point of contention. I think we should do it not when our kids go back to school, but by Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
give
Fair
you a
enough.
little extra time.
Fair enough.
Gotcha. All right. Well, speaking of decisions, you decided on our album for this week.
I did.
Remind us.
I asked you, Brian, and our listeners to give a listen to National Fever, which was an album I recorded in 2014, all about the Washington Nationals. And I will tell everyone exactly why I did this in a minute. I won't say it right yet. But earlier this year, I had AI do a remix of that album, and I shot that one off to Apple Music and Spotify and all of our streaming services. So it's out there. It is now making me money. Again, every time someone listens to it, I make a fourth of a penny, and that's not an exaggeration. So I got to pay for these kids to go to college somehow. So that's why I brought it up. I want to, at least make like a dime out of this week's episode. So that's my thoughts there.
I got you.
I'm wearing my Nats shirt from 2014.
Mm,
This is my
nice.
favorite T-shirt I own. I wear it all the time.
I got my. This is a Ryan Zimmerman dry fit jersey. Love it. Comfortable. Looking forward to wearing it to a game sometime soon.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, so usually we kind of just do a little bit about the album and then we have something else to talk about. We had said we were going to do a little bit about your album and then go into Father's Day. I got 2 songs into this album and I said, holy hell, this will be an entire episode. This may be the longest episode. This may be a 2-hour extravaganza. I don't know. But this is not a quick 5 minutes. This is
Yeah.
obviously a labor of love, something you put a lot into. So just give us the backstory and I'll ask you some questions and then we're going to go track by track.
Okay.
AI versus original. 'Cause
Okay.
I've got a lot of thoughts.
That sounds great. So I'll just give you like some background about me. I've been playing guitar since I was probably in middle school or so, and I always wanted to be a rock star. I still want to be a rock star. I'm still waiting for somebody to walk by the house while I'm playing guitar and hear me playing and offer me a contract. But I've recorded maybe 100 songs in my life, maybe even more than that, like 10 different albums. And I've put them out. I've given them to friends. I've put them out in various different ways. I never was able to get any, I never caught on, right? And I've played concerts. I've been playing concerts for years. I played a concert probably 20 years ago at this point, right after I graduated college, before I had a job, and I was actually trying to be a singer-songwriter. and I played a concert at Jam and Java,
Hmm.
which is a pretty decent place to
Yeah.
play music. And I opened for this band that came down from Pennsylvania, and they made the three of them $63. But I mean, not like each, right? Like they
Right.
split $63. So they drove down from Pennsylvania,
I did the math right. 21 bucks each.
$21 each. And at that point, I decided maybe I need to get a real job because this is not sustainable. I think the most I ever made was like $57 for a show, something like that. So anyway, I got a real job, got a real career, had kids, got married, had kids. Well, I guess I didn't even have kids at this point. Anyway, real life got in the way, and my rock star dreams just became dreams. Fast forward to 2014. I was just playing guitar around the house, and I always play the guitar every single day. And I just, for some reason, decided to write a song about Danny Espinosa. Danny Espinosa was the shortstop turned second baseman for the Nats, who would strike out 4 out of 5 times in a game, but that fifth at bat, he would hit a monster home run. And I loved Danny Espinosa. And I don't even know what came over me one day when I was like, I'm just going to write this song about Danny Espinosa, but I did it. And then, I don't know, a month later or so, I was like, well, Danny Espinosa, he got moved to second base because Ian Desmond, who was the shortstop at the time, took over for the shortstop. So I was like, well, I got to give him some love. So I wrote a song about Ian Desmond. So I had these 2 songs about the Nats they're just stupid songs, but they were like very catchy, and I would just play them all the time, and my wife would laugh at me and all that stuff. Then one of my friends, he posted on Facebook that there is a like an annual or a yearly competition during the month of February. So you have 28 days to write, record, and release an album about anything you want. It has to be 10 songs. You have to write it, you have to record it, and you have to release it. It's called the RPM challenge. I don't know what the RPM stands for, but that's what it's called. And I think I wasn't doing much at work at that time. And I was just like, hey, this would be a fun challenge. Can I do 10 songs, write, record, and release this album by the end of February? And I decided I would do it all about the Nationals. So that's what my inspiration was. And I had this epiphany that I was going to do this at work one day. Again, I was sitting around probably not doing much. And so what I did was I wrote a track list. And I came up with 10 titles of songs. I had the first 2. I'd already written them, but I thought of 8 other titles. I wrote these down, and I wrote a press release. I had not recorded.
Just with the titles.
Just with the titles.
Okay.
And it was all tongue-in-cheek. In the press release, it had my dog as the producer. It talked about, like, world-renowned singer-songwriter Scott Gold is releasing his next album, right? Like, it was all tongue-in-cheek. But I made it look really official. And I sent it out to all my friends. And that was my motivation, right? If I sent this press release out, I had to do it because I was on the hook.
Yep.
And then I just had this idea. Why don't I also just send it to ESPN, the Washington Post, NBC4? I sent it to every news organization I could think of. Well, I kid you not, Brian. Within like 15 minutes, Dan Steinberg from the Washington Post.
I was going to guess DC Sports Blog would be all over this.
He wrote back to me in like 15 minutes and said, like, I love it. Like, when can I get a copy? And it took off from there.
Okay. And at this point, you have 2 songs and 8 titles.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And a commitment to yourself to get this done because you've just told everybody you're going to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I mean, we can go into the songs if you're ready for that, but I can kind of fast forward to after I released.
No, I've got more questions.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Okay. So you start out with Danny Espinosa, which
Yes.
I consider myself a big Nats fan. Had totally forgotten about this man until
How dare you?
you sent me this album. You go through, you've got your 8 tracks. Like, each one kind of has a different vibe to it. Like, how did you go about, 1, writing the lyrics, and then 2, kind of the musical arrangements? And, like, did you incorporate other people? I know your wife does a rap on part of it, but, like, how did this come together over these 28 days?
So truthfully, I would walk my dog. This is how my brain works. I would walk my dog, and I
The
would just
executive
think
producer dog.
he was my producer. That's actually why I made him my producer. And I would like come up with the lyrics and the genre of music as I'm taking my dog for a walk. And my goal was to have every song be a different genre. And not only did this album result in my most publicity I ever had, but I consider it my greatest piece of work ever because every song I'm so proud of because of how stupid it is. But it's so good.
So that was going to be my question, and we're friends. So I mean this in the most sincere way possible. Like, is it supposed to be a parody, lyrically at least?
No,
Okay.
it's a tongue in cheek. It's just fun. Like it was just supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't even tongue in cheek, right? It was. I didn't take it too seriously.
Okay. Because some of the lyrics, I was like, "What?" And we can get into that. But okay,
Yeah.
I obviously enjoyed it. Like the first time I listened to it, I wish I had listened to the original version first
Okay.
instead of the AI. Because I listened to the AI, I was driving. I've been doing some cleanup of the basement. I was taking some stuff to the recycling center, and I just could not stop smiling. Partially just because, and I mean this in a good way, it's absurd.
Yes.
Like the lyrics. I was just telling my nanny we were going to do this, and I was like, the one word I would describe it with that you will understand is this thing is unhinged in like the best way possible. So yeah, the funny other thing is I'm driving to a recycling center. There's one other guy there. He is no joke wearing a Steven Strasberg t-shirt.
There you
And
go.
I was this close to pulling up next to him and being like, have you heard National Fever? Do you want to listen?
Yeah.
And then I also made an extra loop around on my way back, just in case you and your wife were walking, so I could blast it while I was in the car, but you weren't there.
Well, you know, it's like one of my proudest dad moments. You talked about Father's Day, so I'll just
Yeah.
say one of my proudest dad moments was I picked my son up from daycare while he was potty training.
Mm-hmm.
This is years ago, and he loves this album. He still does. He still listens to it, and he's sitting on the toilet at daycare while I go to pick him up, screaming the lyrics at the top of his lungs to Zimmerman and Zimmerman.
Mm. Love
I
it.
was so proud.
I mean, that is
I was so
fantastic.
proud.
All right, so then go take me back to the process. Like, is
Yeah.
it just you and your wife? Did you bring in some other people? Like, what kind of technology did you use?
No, it was all me with my guitars. I have like a set of bongo drums.
Okay.
I would program some drum loops into GarageBand, I think, which is the free tool you have on Apple
Next.
computers.
Yeah.
And I didn't take it too seriously. I think my guitar is out of tune on every single song. My voice, I recorded it through like a headphone mic. It wasn't even a real microphone. I didn't have a good microphone at the time. Yeah, it was all just fun. And you know, once the ball starts rolling, right? Like I think the first song I recorded was Zimmerman and Zimmerman, which was my first single.
Hmm.
I'm sure you know that. And I was like, this is so good. Like I can't wait to do the next one. And I was working on this so hard for those 4 weeks.
And you have some very good rhymes in it. Did you use a rhyming dictionary? Like, this is before the advent of LLMs. Like, you penned these on your walk with the executive producer dog.
This was all me. This was all me.
I mean, that's just so impressive. And like, I feel like I've known you for a while, but I did not know this side of you.
So I released this album. Dan Steinberg writes his article, which you can find if you Google it. It's still available out there on the Washington Post's archives. Tony Kornheiser reads this article.
And you were saying in a previous episode, hero of yours from PTI, correct?
Hero of mine.
Yeah.
And I was at work, a couple days later, and my brother sends me a text saying Tony Kornheiser is talking about you on his radio show. So Tony Kornheiser, his podcast used to be on a 24-hour delay, so I had to wait 24 hours to actually hear what he said about me. He basically said, he kind of like made fun of me a little bit. Does the world need an album about the Washington Nationals? Probably not.
I mean, I don't know who Scott Gold is, but he's apparently releasing an entire album devoted to the Nationals.
Our guys are better.
Well, we don't know if we don't know if he's any good or not.
Did the world need a? Did it need a Nats album? I
don't think the world needed a Nats album, but I mean, what do you think about that?
And I sent him an email, and we had like this correspondence. So for 3 days in a row, there was back and forth with me and Tony Kornheiser on his podcast, where he's just making fun of me and talking about how bad the album is for 3 days. But again, all press is good press, right? Like if he really didn't like it, he wouldn't have talked about it for 3 straight days.
Exactly.
So that was awesome. So that then led to some of the Nats podcasts, whether they saw the newspaper article or they heard Tony. But I have some recordings of Nats podcasts listening to the songs in real time.
Like players, you mean?
Not the players, but like podcasts about the Nats.
Gotcha.
And they'd say like, here's a new song by Scott Gold. Here's Geo Geo Geo. And they'd play it. And then the host would respond in real time. And they would just be like, this is so bad. This is so bad.
Oh.
But like, again, all press is good press. Like it didn't hurt my feelings at all. I just love the fact that these podcasts were taking the time to feature me. But the very best press I got was the Washington City paper, which is the free newspaper you get when you go to the Metro. They hand out these newspapers.
They used to, yes.
I didn't take the Metro in forever, but yeah. And in their weekly music review or whatever they did, they had, just like they had all the other albums, they had National Fever by Scott Gold, 0 stars. They gave me 0 stars, which is amazing. Like, I love it.
It's the best press you could get.
Again, they didn't have to take the space in their newspaper to feature my dumb album, but they did. And they gave me 0 stars, and they wrote like a paragraph about why they gave me 0 stars. And I was just so happy when I saw that. It made me smile so much. The other thing that's really cool, and then I'll stop talking for a second, but it was just a coincidence when all this stuff was going down. My wife and I were going to Las Vegas on a vacation. We had a trip, and I was kind of joking that like, I had to get out of town, right? Because like I'm becoming too much of a star. I have to get out of town. And we were flying out of BWI, so it's like an hour drive. And as we're driving to the airport, I was like, oh, I should listen to Tony Kornheiser because like, what if he's talking about me again? And he used, actually Zimmerman and Zimmerman again, he used that as like a bumper going into a commercial. Mm-hmm. So I'm driving. It's like that scene from That Thing You Do where you hear your song on the radio for the very first time. That was the first and only time I heard my music on the radio. I'm driving to the airport, and that was such a thrill.
That is so cool. That's awesome. Do you know? So I guess this was the question I was trying to ask earlier. Do you know if any of the players ever heard their songs?
So I tweeted them. Okay. I tweeted like every single player asking if they would listen. I think one player, I don't remember who it was, he might have retweeted or liked or something, but I never actually got a comment or anything like that. There was like a minute, it was a very short minute, where they were going to so I was releasing this album for free. You could donate to the Alzheimer's Association.
Oh.
I was doing it as like a fundraiser. And one of the, I don't remember the exact story. One of the, what do you call it? Like not nursing homes, but like one of the Alzheimer homes in the area reached out to me.
Memory care centers, I think they're called.
Yeah. They reached out to me saying like, hey, can we like co-market this with you? Like we do something with the Nationals every month. Would love to feature you as part of this campaign. And I was like, yeah, of course. And the Nationals were involved. And then like we were working out all the logistics, and then they just went completely dark on me. And I have a feeling the Nationals were like, do not associate with this guy at all. Well, because like, if you listen to the lyrics, they're not all positive towards the Nats.
No. Yeah, I was thinking about the final track, and like if you were trying to make your version of Go Cubs Go, and I was like, you know what? He was not. He was like, you guys can't spell the name on the jerseys right. I'm basically an Orioles fan, but you guys sucked me in.
Yeah.
Strasburg shutdown, all that good stuff. But, oh man. Okay, so should we go track by track?
I would love to.
All right. So.
You think anyone's still listening?
I mean, if you aren't, that's okay. Understandable. If you are, we're just going to keep getting more unhinged.
Yeah.
All right. So the Danny Espinosa track,
Yes.
So I took some notes today. I said, I believe this is probably the most attention this man has ever received.
Possibly.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact you liked him, great. Any other thoughts on that? I know it was your first one.
Yeah, he did one time hit a home run at a game that I was at. And when he hit that home run, I pulled my phone out. I played it as loud as I possibly could so that the whole crowd could hear the Danny Espinosa song.
Love that. All right, the Desmond Train.
Ian
You
Desmond.
obviously have very strong feelings for Ian Desmond. You tell other people if they don't, they can F themselves. Like, what really drew you to this very tall shortstop we had?
I don't really like Ian Desmond. I never did. If you remember, he would commit a lot of errors
Yes.
at shortstop. And when he left the Nats, they moved him to like left field or something like that. I think the Rangers moved him to left field. But I felt like he needed a song because he was like the middle infield with Danny.
Yeah. Trying to turn two.
But he's a star, right? Like he's a star in your eyes. He's a star in my eyes too.
Yeah. So then also thinking about kind of the AI versions of these. Again, I wish I had listened to the originals first.
Yeah.
I did the opposite order. This one to me had mega church vibes. Like if you subbed Ian Desmond Train for the Jesus Train, I think you have a contemporary Christian hit on your hands.
Yeah.
Was that the vibe you were going for on this one?
No, this was more of like a singer-songwriter type deal. The Bryce Harper song, that was more my Christian rock
Yep, I saw that as well.
song. Yeah.
Yep.
No, I just wanted like a good acoustic song for Ian Desmond. And my kids always ask like, what is an Ian Desmond Train? And I don't have an answer for them.
You just gotta hop on the bandwagon, hop on the
Hop on
train.
the bandwagon.
So I guess the other question is, when you were reworking it through AI this year, like what prompts or what?
No prompts. No, you literally, there's like a mode. I think
Okay.
the app is called Sonu or something like that. And it's just called like remix or
Really?
remaster or something like that. And I
Wow.
just plug it in and that's what comes out. And I didn't do any tinkering with them.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting because I thought each one kind of had a vibe, which makes sense based on your original intentions. But I thought I thought you might have said, make this one sound kind of like, I'll figure out my notes, not the Killers, but Imagine Dragons. Like there's one
No.
later that I think sounds very Imagine Dragons.
I put as much effort into the remastering with AI as I did the original version, which is not that much effort.
Well, it sounds like you put a decent amount of effort into the original opportunity. All right, Wolfman. I thought this one was really cool. It was like the first person telling an ode to a beard. I mean, he has obviously a much better beard than I do. I really liked kind of the part where you were him in like the deeper voice talking about his trades and his millies and all that.
Yeah.
I thought this one had the best AI glow up. It like kept the heart and the concept, but like really polished it nicely. Like I thought this
Yeah.
one with the AI was like, that's solid.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And that was one, I wanted it to be a little weird.
Because he's
and
a little weird.
It was a little weird. And I reworked it a few times, like originally, trying to see if I could do it in a different way. But I stuck with the original. But yeah, I agree. AI did a good job with that one.
Yeah. All right. Geo. This is where I just started thinking unhinged. From the lyrics. And I mean, now I know you were trying to be a little tongue in cheek. First pick in MLB The Show. All right. Like, you're an idiot, but you can do that. The pitching Willie Mays? Scott, how? How could you even say he is the pitching Willie Mays? That is a disgrace
I said
to
some
the
might
history
say.
of Major League Baseball.
I said some might say he's the pitching Willie Mays. I didn't say I would. I said some might. His
my
mom
God.
might.
Ugh. That one drove me bonkers.
That line, that rap interlude, I should say, was on one of the podcasts that was like getting the most love. They were like,
Okay.
"Oh my gosh, this rap is awesome."
All right. Well, moving on to the next one, thought the original rap in The Men with the Plan about Denard Span, I mean, that was a highlight of the album. Can you
Yeah.
tell me how you convinced your wife to do that?
So in a lot of the recordings that I've done with her since we got married, or maybe even since we started dating, in a lot of recordings I've done, she has played a part. I've tried to at least convince her to play a part. I have no idea how I got her to agree to this. I wrote all those lyrics for her. I tried to emulate Nicki Minaj. That's why she calls herself Colleen Minaj
Mm-hmm.
at the end. Like she goes, my. Have you seen that guy? Like that was the Nicki Minaj ode.
Yeah.
And she used to really like Nicki. So I think that was probably what did it. But yeah, I love that interlude. And when I was on, well, I haven't even got to the end of my story about all my publicity. I was on another TV show later on, and of all the songs they played Man with the Plan Denard Span, and they just used her rap. So like it wasn't even me that was featured. It was just my wife.
Yeah. I also thought, like, based on our conversation last episode, like, was this what your middle school rap group sounded like?
It was probably very similar.
Okay. And then on the AI version, I did think they did a good job with this. They like punched
They
it up
did.
a little bit. Like,
They did.
that one works.
Yeah, it became a jam.
Yeah. All right. Zimmerman and Zimmerman. One thing that stood out to me on this one, they're spelled differently.
Yes.
The offensive player, Ryan Zimmerman, 1 N, the pitcher, Jordan Zimmerman, 2 N's.
Yes.
It felt like you were saying Zimmerman and Zimmerman. Was that on purpose, or am I just overthinking that?
No. It's Zimmerman and Zimmerman.
All right. I thought
you read
maybe
too
you
much.
were differentiating based on 2 N's.
Yeah.
Again, you gave these guys a lot of hype. I believe you committed to name a baby after them. I was just curious how that played out.
Yeah, we should name a baby after you and you, right? Like not just one of you, but the other. I don't know. That was the first single. That was the first one I recorded. That is probably my favorite of all of them. I think the lyrics are all really good. I love how it sounds. It was like an accident when I said should name the baby after you and you. That was not even intentional. It just kind of like fit. It rolled off the tongue, and that's so perfect. So yeah, that's my baby. And I love that again. My kids are drawn to that one too, so that's the one they sing when they're on the toilet.
Naming rights for the stadium are still available, and I know you mentioned that we should name it after them. So we'll see. The other one I was going to say on this, I've already forgotten, so we'll move on. All right, moving on. Mr. Harper's Opus, number 34. You said this was your Christian rock song.
Yeah, I wanted to do this like really big song for Bryce Harper, right? This is before Bryce had left the team.
Sure.
You know, he was the future of the franchise, and I wanted it to just be this really big song, and I wanted it to just keep building and building and building and building. And this one I was most disappointed. Like I could not get it to sound the way I wanted it to sound. And so I was always disappointed with how the original turned out. And this was the first song I fed through AI. And I was so happy with how the AI version came about. Like that was my vision, how it sounded in AI. And so that's what inspired me to remix the entire album.
Okay.
But yeah, I just wanted like this really big with all these instruments and a zillion voices. Like I really wanted something big to honor Bryce.
I mean, my notes on the AI version literally say amped up church song. So mission accomplished. I also thought this probably had my favorite lyric. Let's see. Eye black for makeup, your baller camouflage.
Yes.
I mean, I thought that was brilliant. And then I obviously, this was where I thought it was a parody where you said, greatest in history and his head ain't large. That guy had the biggest head in baseball. He's still not.
This is 2014, right? Like, I don't think he had a big head back then.
I'm pretty sure that was the clown question, bro era. Like
it might have been, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, that one, solid. This one is actually my favorite track. The next one, Bullpen Blues.
Bullpen Blues, yeah. It's bringing back traumatic memories.
Yes, I felt like I was back in that stadium where I could hear a pin drop when we gave up the lead.
Were you there?
I was.
Oh.
Yep. I don't think I was there for game 4. I'm pretty sure I was there for game 5. Yeah, I was. I remember vividly, like, the anticipation building, like the feeling. We were at the bullpen before the game, and I had a friend, I still have a friend, he was a big Cardinals fan, and he could not bear to go because he was also a Nationals fan. He was like, I am just going to be so stressed out. So I think he had a ticket, and then I ended up getting it. Because what happened was, we really caught Nationals fever in 2012. group of us signed up for season tickets for 13, which included playoff tickets for 12. So, but I think we had 4, so we were like rotating them among our group of 6 or whatever. So
Yeah.
ended up, he had originally been allocated for game 5. I ended up getting to go, but pin drop. It was awful. And the song took me back to it. And, you know, it was a well-written story.
That song, I was trying to emulate Miley Cyrus, Party in the USA. That was the inspiration behind
Really?
Bullpen Blues, yeah.
Interesting. Because the only thing I kind of wish it was more of a blues song.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. The music doesn't necessarily go along with the lyrics on a lot of these songs. But it was just like the synthesizer. It was supposed to sound like Party in the USA.
Yeah. I mean, I did say the AI version was either pop country or pop punk, which might kind of be pop punk sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we move on to, I think, the country story of the album. Strasburg and the Buffalo. I was getting Western vibes, digging it. I thought this was a good story that you told. I could picture Wilson on the bench with his glove in his lap, just waiting. And he was one of my all-time favorite players. Like, one playoff run, I remember getting like the Flintstones, like Graham Pumbaa Buffalo hat, and I just wore that to all the games. When I took the kids to the Savannah Bananas last year, he was the special guest. Like, that guy was a lot of fun.
Sometimes I listen to that song and I get a little teary. I feel like it's an emotional roller coaster, that song.
Yeah.
That one I'm also very, very proud of. Some days that might be my favorite song on the album. I think that has the best rhyme on the entire album, where I rhyme Pudge Rodriguez and Will Navis.
Yeah, that was
together.
Yes.
I mean, like, what are the
chances?
What if the catcher's name was like Smith? What would I have done?
You would have had to rethink your whole life, basically.
I know.
All right. And then we wrap it up in what I like to think of as the 10th inning. I didn't realize that you were in a contest where you had to have 10 songs.
Have 10 songs.
I was like, 9 songs, 9 innings. That would have been perfect. So I was like, all right, 10th inning. So the Nationals anthem comes in with some pretty hard rock vibes.
Yeah.
But then kind of very slow, I would say, in the verse. But I thought it was fun, personal telling of your fandom. Again, kind of when I first saw the title, I was like, oh, he was trying to get like the Nats to play this in the 7th inning. And then I listened to the lyrics. I was like, there's no way in hell they're going to do that. But
well, again, I mean, remember, I wrote the titles before I wrote the lyrics.
Okay.
And I just felt like as an album that's all about the Nats, like, you have to close with the Washington national anthem.
Yeah.
It just kind of like fit. I was trying to go for like a Rage Against the Machine or like hard
I got
rock.
Metallica more, but okay, I get it.
Yeah, type theme there. I really like the music to that one. That one I was really proud of the music. There's a bass that's playing like a really cool little, I don't know, lick underneath that I'm really proud of. That might be like the best bass lick I've ever written. Yeah, I'm proud of that one for the music.
Nice. Okay, so we've gone through track by track, talked about them, love it. A little bit you talked about earlier, kind of the reaction, but then you also mentioned, you released a single and you got on TV. Like, tell me a little bit more kind of about the reaction, like how you played this out, and then kind of how you moved on with your normal life after your 15 minutes of being in the spotlight.
Well, a couple things. So when that first newspaper article came out about it, I had just started a new job. I'd probably been there like 2 months or so. And that was part of why I didn't have that much going on, because, it takes time to like ramp up, especially when you're more junior in your career.
Yeah.
And I remember I came to work that day and I was just hoping somebody read the newspaper that morning. Not only was it front page of the sports section, but it was, what do you call it? Like on the very top of the front page, like above where it says Washington Post, the like teaser.
Yeah, I literally worked at the Washington Post. I should know this. I've spent most of my time on the digital side. We'll just call it the banner. Top banner.
The banner said something like, the new Nationals album is as good as gold, right? So like front page above the fold, right?
Good as
So I
gold.
show up at work just wanting somebody to be like, are you the same Scott Gold? And nobody reads the newspaper. Nobody said a thing. So I had to like awkwardly be like, hey, do you guys want to see something funny?
All right, see, if it was me, I think the first day I would have gone out and bought like 20 copies and then just left them around the office, opened up to the front of sports.
Yeah.
See what happens.
So that was funny. And then like people got to know that like that was my thing. And I think people thought I was a complete weirdo, which I absolutely was at the time because of this. Um, but yeah, I spent most of that season like trying to parlay it into something else, right? Because again, I still was hoping to be a real rock star.
Yeah.
So, and I can't think of their names off the top of my head, but the members of REM, do you know this? The members of REM, not Michael Stipe, but the other guys, have a band about baseball.
No.
I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head, but they tour. And so like I was trying to communicate with their management being like, hey, when you come to DC,
You
do
could
you
open.
need an opener?
Yeah.
And that didn't ever flesh out into anything. So I was like just trying to do anything. Like, hey, Nats, I will come play on the pavilion for free. Just like, can I do it? They wouldn't do that.
Did you call the bullpen?
I don't think I did the bullpen.
Oh,
I might have. I don't know. I mean, I tried. I
Yeah.
really tried, and nothing worked. The closest that of like something big happening was that thing with the Alzheimer's group. But then again, I think the Nationals put a kibosh on that. But then we made the playoffs. Jordan Zimmerman has that perfect game, or
Yep.
not perfect game, no hitter.
I was
Last
there.
game
It
of
was
the
the last
season.
game of the season. Diving
Last game
catch
of the
to
season. And I'm like, this is the opportunity to really like just try one last push. So I did like one last push. And there was a TV show that used to be on ABC 7. It might still be on. It was called Sports Talk.
Okay.
And they would air it on like Channel 8. Channel 8 was affiliated with Channel 7. They would play it in prime time on Channel 8. And then ABC 7 would show it at like 1 in the morning. And I wrote to that guy just saying like, hey, here's my story. Can I get on? And he basically said, if you put together a new song about the Nats in the playoffs, I would love to feature you because I'm tired of talking about the Redskins. So that's what I did. Put together a new song. It's out on YouTube. It's not a part of this album. I should have actually included that as a bonus track. But it was about the Nats making the playoffs. And they had me in. I was on 2 segments on ABC. It was really, really cool. So I was able to like tell all my friends and family, like, hey, I'm going to be on TV prime time promoting this album. And that was after I left that studio. That was when my 15 minutes ended. But I will say this, there have been a few copycats since. And they have
specific to the
taken,
Nationals?
they have taken a similar approach where they would write to Dan Steinberg or somebody else from DC Sports Blog or
Yes.
someone else affiliated with the Post. And I don't know how often it's happened, but it's happened a few times where they will write an article or a review of this album. And every single time in like the first paragraph, they say like reminiscent of the 2014 album by Scott Gold. So I've been referenced a few other times in the Washington Post. So everyone knows that everyone has copied me.
Impressive. And I mean, I feel like your 15 minutes has lived on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't one of your social media profile pictures from that TV cut?
It is, and it described me as music artist, Nationals fan,
Yes.
which I think is like a perfect description of me.
Yeah. I mean, when I first got to know you, I was like, wow, that sounds cool. I like that guy.
Yeah. I still have the newspaper article as my background on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And actually, when I started my most recent job, they were like, "Hey, you should like update it to our company stuff." I said, "No, I'm gonna keep what I have there."
I mean, so the team, as of this recording, is tied for the wild card.
Yeah.
What would it take for you to write some new tracks, knowing that we have some new technology, a little bit of AI? Like, what would it take?
I think that was lightning in a bottle. I don't think it can be replicated. I think again, I had no real intention. It was really just let me put together 10 songs about a singular topic so I can do this challenge. I can meet my goal. And I just wanted to have some fun and sent a press release out to all these news organizations, and it just blew up. It was
Nice.
so innocent that anything I do now, it would feel too trite.
I mean, I feel like if James Wood makes the All-Star team, as he deserves to, he also deserves a Scott Gold special treatment song. I'm just putting that out there.
Okay, well, we'll see. But yeah, it just won't have the same innocence that I think these 10 songs have.
I know, but I mean, you've matured. The team has gone down, hopefully back up. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it could happen, but
Yeah.
that's up to you.
Yeah.
And maybe our listeners, if they demand it, maybe you'll do it.
I would love it. I would love, like I said, to be able to send my kids to college based off of the number of plays the National Fever gets
Oh,
on these streaming services.
yeah. Well, I will try to get you all the way up to the full penny because I'm 3 listens in, and so one more listen, and I will get you to the penny.
There you go.
This has been a ton of fun. Like I said, I knew that we couldn't just do this as like an intro to another episode. So,
Yeah.
anything else you want to close out before we do my album for next week and some shout outs?
I don't think so. I think we covered it. I think that was a lot of fun. That was a good trip down memory lane.
It was. Okay, so my album going into next week before we go into our shout outs will also be a little bit of trip down memory lane. I think you'll be impressed that we've made it this far into our recordings where I get to pick albums and I have not done a Dave Matthews Band album.
Yeah.
But this week, I'm going to break that streak.
Okay.
And I am proposing Come Tomorrow by Dave Matthews Band.
I don't know that one.
That's what I figured. So this one came out in 2018, around this time in June. Actually came out, I believe, the week that my son was born. And I will say this is their dad rock album. And so
Okay.
for me, listening to it with a newborn was just really special. We're approaching Father's Day. I thought this would be a cool one. Figured you didn't know most of the songs on it. And as a bonus treat for you in particular, Come Tomorrow, the titular track, or title track? I don't know. We'll go with title track.
Okay.
There's a second version that features your girl, Brandy Carlisle. So I think you
Oh,
will
yeah?
enjoy that. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know they did anything together.
I think she might be on his label. She's opened for them a couple times when they do their big Labor Day weekend at the Gorge. Like,
Yeah.
they're friendly.
Okay.
So, Come Tomorrow by Dave Matthews Band. Going into Father's Day week, I think that will be a good one for our listeners. And I'm excited to hear your thoughts.
I will definitely give it a listen. Speaking of Brandy, they just announced another festival that I think we have to add to our list of festivals we may or may not actually go to.
Wait, our list of things we talk about, get really excited about,
That's what I
and then
mean.
don't do. Okay, yeah, what do we got?
Have you heard of this? It's called Moon Crush.
No?
It's in Florida.
Okay.
3 nights. Each night is a different headliner. This is like a festival made for me.
Okay.
The first night is headlined by Jason Isbell.
Nice.
Second night is headlined by Avett Brothers.
Okay.
Third night is co-headlined by Brandy Carlisle and Jim James of My Morning Jacket.
Yeah, that's literally like they took your Apple Music
I
and
know.
said, I'm going to make a perfect festival for Scott.
I know. And it's on the beach. Like, it sounds pretty awesome. It's in April of next year.
April? Okay, that gives us a lot of time to maybe commit to it.
It's probably already sold out, right? Like, they announced it 2 days ago. It's probably already sold out. But still,
What part of Florida?
I don't know.
Okay.
Somewhere probably by the water.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. All right. Any shout outs do you have today, Scott?
Man, I'm so bad at these shout outs because I had an idea for shout outs and I don't even know who to shout out. Like, man, I said that so wrong. I got donuts delivered yesterday. We had some friends staying with us because they had a super early flight this morning out of Dulles. So they drove down from Pennsylvania, stayed with us, and they brought these awesome donuts. And I don't even like donuts. I think donuts are a waste of calories and just never as good as they look. These donuts were really good. I actually had one right before we got on for this recording. Like a Cookie Monster donut, a cookies and cream donut, just like amazing donuts. So I was going to shout out the company that these donuts were from, and I don't know what they're called. I will be better next time with my shout outs.
Well, shout out to your friends for bringing said
There you go.
delicious donuts that maybe we will figure out what those are.
Shout out to our listeners again, because I told Brian earlier today, I was like, oh my gosh, yesterday we had the biggest day of listening we've ever had. And then I realized I hadn't looked yesterday to see about the day before, and the day before was even bigger. So just another shout out to all our listeners. Love it.
Yes. Massive appreciation. Anybody that takes the time during their day to hear what Scott and I have to say is very, very impressive.
Yes.
I'm going to give a shout out real quick to the best one yet, Nick and Jack. And I've mentioned them before. That was the live podcast I went to. I just think they're great. Everybody should check them out. The idea of shout outs kind of came from them. They actually gave my son a shout out because he We recorded a video of him going through his top 3 favorite facts from one of the shows they did. And then they gave him a shout out for his birthday. So just shout out to Nick and Jack. And then we'll end it here with just a shout out to all the great dads and fathers. We hope you have a wonderful Father's Day. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy your families. And we're going to talk about being fathers in the next episode.
I love it. I love it.
All right.
All the dads, including my dad.
Yes, mine as well. Cheers.
Cheers. See you next time.
Love it.
Separated at birth, how could two baseball players so great grace us on this earth? Zimmerman and Zimmerman, don't ever leave. Please don't become a Philly or worse, a Yankee. And after all that we've been through, should